Yeah, I can see us now.
Yeah, that looks pretty good there.
It's a stupid kick showing you that I ain't following nobody.
All right, and there we are on in the live. How do I guess I can't bring that in. I'm not going to be able to do anything with Facebook. Somebody's going to have to monitor that live chat in Facebook.
I'm
Can't
on
do
I
it.
got
Facebook.
it.
Okay, you're on
Yeah,
Facebook. You got it. All
I'm
right,
already on
cool.
Facebook.
Oh, he got it.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. So, um, it's been a minute, everybody out there, Culture Junkie Nation. We are going to be back. Here we are, Culture Junkies live. The other Steve has renewed his sub. We are back after a long, long, long time away. We are live not only on Twitch, we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, we are also live on Kick. So wherever you guys are, you will be able to find us once again. So allow me to reintroduce myself and my friends. We are the Culture Junkies. We have been doing our show for a long, long time, but we took a little bit of a hiatus. And we're back because, well, we missed kind of doing this thing and we wanted to kind of, well, I feel like it's been a long time since we've done it. So we need to get back into the swing of things. So over on Twitch, we've got Pocky100 checking in. It's been a while. Hello to you. Minority Games says he missed us. So
Hmm.
that is good to see him as well. He also checked our YouTube, and yes, we are on YouTube there. So, I mean, obviously, we're restreaming using Caster. But Introduce is going to be on the show with me today. As you can see to my on the left of me is GQ. To my bottom is Simon Says. And then over there in the corner we've got the great Daidakuji himself wearing the Samus Aran insert. Well, what? Say hello, fellas.
Hello, everybody.
What up,
Hello,
everybody?
fellas.
King.
So, I know it's been a while. We took a bit of a break, but we're pretty excited to get back onto it. We don't have a creators, actors, or directors or writers strike going on anymore. Hollywood is back in production, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about in Hollywood and outside of Hollywood. Minority Games has just cheered us for $200, so appreciate that, sir. Um, so one of the things we definitely could talk about is, well, the biggest news I guess right now going on is two things: the Suicide Squad and the whole thing going on with Vince McMahon, WWE, and all this other kind of stuff. So what's you guys' take on? Let's start with the Vince thing because that's actually kind of big. Vince obviously has resigned from
Hmm.
WWE and from TKO. He is essentially excommunicated now that he's got these allegations of what was it? Trafficking? Trafficking? Like,
Yep,
yeah, sex
sex
trafficking?
trafficking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
pretty bad. Not just him, but implicating Brock Lesnar in it as well. Who as
And John
and John
Laurinaitis as
Laurinaitis,
well.
who we saw Brock drop his gloves at the last SummerSlam that was here in Detroit. So it was almost like he got out well
Hmm.
ahead of everything going on. What you guys take on everything?
These people, and they're, oh, I'm so rich, I have to do dumb shit like that. Makes no sense to me because I guess maybe it's not true, but my understanding is that when you have fame, fortune, popularity, all that other good stuff, whatever it is, that you don't have to do these dumb things in order to get sex. Like, if that's the whole thing, unless you're trying for power, and if you got power, you own a corporation. I mean, you're being a dick to people, but like, I don't know, man. It just it makes me wish I could flip the switch off. Not on
Yeah.
myself, just like on just other stuff, man.
Right.
I'm tired of this place.
Yeah, Pocky100 in the chat said Vince has been known to be a dickhead for a while, though. So, I mean, it's,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You know,
it's not new. It's
yeah,
Yeah.
not
no,
new.
it's not new. And when the news first dropped, I was on Twitter, or excuse me, X. Fuck it, I'm gonna keep calling it Twitter.
I'm gonna call it
Uh,
Twitter. You're gonna call it Twitter.
exactly, I'm gonna keep calling it Twitter. So people on Twitter were talking
Hmm.
about the whole Vince thing, and some people were like, they should just wipe Vince's whole history from the WWE. And I was like, dude, no, you can't do that. It's impossible.
No, stop
Like,
that.
dude,
You can't do
you
that.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Like the Attitude Era alone and his like his feud with Austin, his
Mhm.
feud with The Rock, the storylines he had with essentially every big wrestler that was out there. You can't all of a sudden just cut that out and pretend like it didn't exist. Like, no.
That's the same thing with like Chris Benoit. You can't just cut that out. I mean, even though
Chris
yeah, he
Benoit is a
did
little
what he
bit
did.
easier. Well, Chris Benoit is a
He's
little
a
bit easier to do, right? When
well,
you got
yeah,
I mean, he
but still
existed
though.
though. I
I mean,
mean, if you go back and look at those old pay-per-views
mhm,
and old shows, which you can see them all on
mhm,
that one streaming network,
mhm,
is there. So
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that they tried to do then is they removed chapter indicators for his matches and that sort of thing.
Oh,
That was
really?
one thing that they for
mhm,
Chris Benoit, that's what they did. It was
Hmm.
like anytime there was a Chris Benoit match and you were looking at a pay-per-view, how the chapters were, denoted by dots basically. Anytime you saw a big gap
mhm,
between one match and another match, it usually meant it was a Chris Benoit match. And you scrub through and that's exactly what it was. Vince, like you said, is a
mhm,
harder person to get rid of in that regard because he is the WWE for a lot of people. Obviously WWF, WWE,
mhm,
whatever. He
mhm,
was that guy. He was the one that went against his dad's promise to not, basically globalize, and that sort of thing. So it was so Paki 100 said that he doesn't like the dude, but he is a WWF, WWE. Exactly. Yeah, see exactly what I'm saying. He's part of the history.
yeah, he was a
It's
mhm,
yes, you can forget about him for any future moving forward or whatever, but I mean, come on, right? Austin McMahon, that was an entire era based off of that. Like Dido said, the Attitude Era. It's like you can't get away from that. There's no way to just say, yeah, Vince didn't exist.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
too ingrained in it.
Way
What's
too
up, Wolverine?
ingrained.
Wolverine Solid X? What's up, man? Appreciate you for checking in. We are definitely back. It's good to see you.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what they do. I think that's part of the reason that they had The Rock announce that he was a board member on TKO so quickly and so randomly and out of the blue because
Yeah.
it
mhm,
happened right around the same time.
yeah.
I think it
I
was like
thought
the Vince
I
news
thought
dropped like the day
mhm,
afterwards, right?
yeah,
Wasn't it like
after
either
Yeah,
a day or two
yeah.
afterwards? Yeah.
it felt like it was around the same time, but maybe
Yeah,
it was
it,
a little
it,
bit
it totally was. Totally
after.
was. And speaking of The Rock, I'm glad you brought him up.
Yeah. Hmm.
That man is everywhere right now. Like literally everywhere. We're
Mhm,
talking United Football League, we're talking WWE, and kudos to him. I'm sure the whole thing with Vince, they knew it was coming. Um, and they got Dwayne to come on board, and he was like, "Okay, I'll do it, but you better turn over the rights to The Rock to me." And he
Well,
got that shit.
he
yeah.
got it back. Yeah, he sure did.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely that.
yeah.
Like you said, he's definitely been on a roll as far as I think what it is honestly with The Rock, besides obviously diversifying your money and then spreading it around and making sure you got your hands in a lot of different pies. I think he really is just like fulfilling that family legacy thing. I think this is something that his
Mhm,
grandmother, with her wrestling federation back in the day, his father back when he was a wrestler would have wanted to do, obviously. But I mean, the times were different back then. They weren't going to give it to Rocky Johnson in that regard, or him being part of the WWF board or something back then. That's not
Right.
something that would have happened. His
mhm,
grandmother, being a woman at that time. Running a wrestling federation, and we heard the rumors and stories of Shawn Michaels disrespecting her somehow, and that becoming a beef and a thing or whatever. I think Rock is
Really?
just really just going back and just like, look, man, this is my family and my family business, and I'm about to have my share and my take in it and make our name legacy for all time. I think that's what his goal is in this. That's just my take on it.
I hear you.
So
He definitely made his legacy, most definitely. And I,
mm,
I, I I know probably I think I put that question out there a long, long time ago about Vince McMahon trying to screw over the Rock's dad because apparently they had some kind of falling out. And it
mhm.
always made me wonder if Vince was that petty where he would boost his son just to make his dad look bad. He put him in way more in everything. I mean, it's not like The Rock didn't deserve it. It's not like he tried because in the beginning he thought he was going to get the Rocky Maivia, stat, whatever. He thought that he was
Yeah.
going to be done with that because nobody liked him and whatever. When he made that heel turn, he became, great. And Vince just kept pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. I mean, but he pushed him even when he was rocking my IV. He put the Intercontinental Champion on him before he was like anything. So
I love that.
what?
I love that. What's on the screen right now? Earth is ghetto.
Earth is ghetto. I want to leave. Yeah, basically, man. Give me a TARDIS. Those who know Doctor Who, like a long time ago, I wanted the Enterprise E, and I could just leave. But the TARDIS is better because it can travel through space and time. Even though when you're traveling through
Sure.
space, you're traveling
The
through
Enterprise
space
is just
time.
prettier. That's all. The
Yeah,
Enterprise.
I want it.
Yeah.
But the TARDIS, the one that we know is broken.
Yeah.
That's why it always looks like a police box. It's supposed to look like whatever you want it to look like. So you can get a TARDIS and make it look like the Enterprise E, and then just leave this place.
Speaking of Doctor Who, have you been watching the new one with QT Gutwa? I think it is.
No. I saw when he first showed up, and I was very confused because what's his name? Neil Patrick Harris was also on there as a toy maker, and I was like, that's the first that I've seen somebody who is a big name in United States media be on Doctor Who. Like Doctor Who is known all around the world now, and it really started to blow up when Christopher Eccleston. Like it's been around well before then, and I remember watching it on PBS when I was a kid, and I thought that I couldn't. My dad used to watching it; it just didn't hold my interest. But Christopher Eccleston came on and started to hold my interest. But after when Peter Capaldi showed up, I kind of lost interest, and it's been kind of hard for me to get back into it. And so one of our good buddies was over here showing me the episodes when he showed up, and it was weird because the ninth Doctor, or David Tennant, and the new Doctor, whose name I don't know, but I know who you're saying, exist at the same time. They like literally split, and it was so weird. So would like to watch it.
Yeah.
I just gotta watch other stuff. I've been watching Euphoria.
Dude, that's a good freaking show, bro. That's a really good show.
Finished the first season. Now I'm on the second season.
Zendaya is acting her ass off in that show.
She most definitely is. There's a what do you call it? A junkie. Yep. Just not the culture junkie.
Exactly. Yep. Sydney Sweeney is good in that show, and so is my man that plays the son of the gay dad, the guy that's in the closet.
I don't know his name, but the character's name is Nate or whatever.
Yeah,
he is such a perfect asshole.
Yes, he is. But you know who's my favorite? And he just died, and I was so sad about that.
Ashtray.
That dude. That dude is awesome. That dude
is
name.
Yeah.
That's the name of his character in the show, but man, that dude is awesome. Anyway,
I just want to know what they're gonna do with season 3. That my man who played Fesco passed away.
Fesco actually is who I was talking about. Fez is who I was talking about.
Oh, you're talking about not the actor,
but the little kid.
The character.
Yeah, but the little kid is good too. Ashtray is he's good too. Anyway, let's pivot. Let's talk about the controversy of the Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Everybody's up in arms about a lot of the stuff that's going on in this game, and it just makes me wonder exactly what were these people expecting. The game is called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. You should expect the Justice League to die, and that's what's happening. Especially what happened with Batman, what happened with the Flash and Captain Boomerang pissing on his corpse. Like, what did you expect? Come on. I don't.
We've talked about this ad nauseum when it comes to freaking people who call themselves fans nowadays. And I came to a realization, and I'm not trying to bring it back to Euphoria, but my point being is that I was watching this show, the first episode, and I really didn't like what I was seeing because though I felt hurt for humankind when I was watching it, right? And I was like, I don't know if I can finish watching this, blah, blah, blah. And then I was thinking to myself that I don't see myself in any of these characters. I didn't live like this. I didn't go to high school like this. I'm not as young as them. I don't, participate in any of that stuff. And then I started thinking that so many people, when they get into media, watching media, whatever it is, literally have to see themselves in stuff in order to feel something, get it, to like it, to understand it. If they can't see themselves in it, they're not to the level to be to objectify. I guess objectify. I don't know. Separate themselves and be able to just watch it as entertainment. as a story that is progressing that has nothing to do with yourself. And I think a lot of these people, they put themselves into it. I think that's the reason why they're like that. If they don't see what we said this, their expectations, or see something in there, so it can be so subconscious that you didn't even know. I'm a comic book fan. I'm not saying me personally. I'm saying these people. I'm a comic book fan, and I see myself in these characters, and it needs to be done the way that I envision it to be done, or it sucks. We talked about this so much, so we are living in the age of everything is trash because I said so because it didn't meet my expectations.
I love that. I love that. I love that commentary. That's actually pretty good. And Takeem is saying, okay, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. It's Marvel's Borderlands Avengers. GQ, would you buy this? Is there any scenario where you would end up buying this game knowing that it's a live service type game?
Going off of Dido's normal $20 or less price model for
Mhm.
for purchasing particular games, I don't even think I'd get it at that price. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. It's not that I dislike the concept. The concept is fine. I've always liked Task Force S, aka the Suicide Squad or whatever. They did a great job presenting them in Justice League Unlimited. It's a cool concept and idea. It's always been kind of interesting. The problem is with this particular one, and we talked about it on Monday during the test, was the fact that everybody's the same. Everybody's carrying a gun. It's like you're kind of getting away from what makes the Suicide Squad. Waller picks each person based on the particular skill set that they have and the way it's going to work for the mission that they're going for. There's always that one person that's gonna get
Mm-hmm.
killed because of the fact that they're stupid, and they got to be the example that no, those nanites in your neck are real. She will kill you. There's always that one person that's kind of worthless to the squad. That's Slipknot in the movie was that example. It's like,
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah.
so he gets killed because guess what? You got to have somebody show that she ain't playing around. So for them to send them after the
Oh,
Justice League and just basically give everybody guns, this kind of makes it super generic. It's like you've lost the quality of what makes Suicide Squad the Suicide Squad. It's just like now it's just like, okay, it's just a random third person shooter now. It's not it's Fortnite light. It's Overwatch. It's all of those just basically, but just with a DC Suicide Squad paint thrown over it. So I don't really know that I'm interested in it, to be honest.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. I had it's been documented obviously that um I had a I don't want to say I had it wasn't an exception an obsession, but I really enjoyed playing Marvel's Avengers. When it first came out, really believed in the game. I thought the concept was pretty unique. Um, but as it went on, and there was no support for the roadmap wasn't very good. The enemies types weren't varied enough. I just kind of started to get bored with it and became a glorified. It basically were trying to get you for the skins for the characters, right?
uh,
And
yeah, that's pretty much.
yeah, and most of the skins were terrible until they started doing the official Marvel skins from the MCU. Those were
Mm-hmm.
fire, right? But most of the others were pretty bad. Um, I think that kind of soured me on the live service experience. And when you have the Suicide Squad, which you have such disparate characters, you got Harley Quinn, you got Deadshot, King Shark, Captain Boomerang, and they're going to be adding the Joker, right? But all of them have guns. They're essentially all the same people. It's a different type of gun, and you're just jumping around shooting and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, how is this better or different than Destiny? And then some of the gameplay that I've been seeing, like, okay, the Batman stage, right? They're going to kill Batman,
Mm-hmm.
and then as you're fighting Batman, he stops being Batman and he starts being this large flaming bat demon. I'm like, what is this? Like, what?
Somebody's
Yeah,
Wow.
they doing the what's the name? The scarecrow's toxin
Oh,
or the fear
the fear
toxin or whatever.
toxin.
Oh.
Okay, but
Yeah.
still.
No, yeah. Here's the thing. I would have forego maybe like Captain Boomerang maybe and put in maybe like Deathstroke or maybe or Bane or somebody. Maybe somebody that has like like more. more melees because I know Harley Quinn and King Shark they have melee weapons, but I mean they're literally the same person. They're basically the same thing. They carry guns and all that crap. But maybe if you have like somebody like, or let's say maybe like Black Manta, that'd be sweet. Maybe like have him use this little optic blast or the little harpoons he has. I think that would have been cool. Other than just throwing in, of course, Deadshot is like the Deadshot and Harley Quinn are like the what is it, Captain Boomerang are like the quote unquote Task Force S like X like veterans or whatnot. So I mean, I would rather have them do something like that than just keep doing the same thing. It was like, yeah, every character's a gun, but it's like, oh, yeah, there are other
Yeah,
DC characters that have different skill types. I
yeah,
mean,
because
Mhm.
you
it's
could have
like,
done.
okay, right? For instance, Captain Boomerang,
Mm,
he's got guns. Like, isn't his whole
mm.
thing the different types of boomerangs that he throws? Like, I thought that was
Yeah, he
always his
said.
thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. It's like he has boomerangs or like exploding boomerangs or something like that, kind of like Batman or whatnot. But he has actual boomerangs, I guess. I don't know, but I mean, Deadshot. I mean, that's his thing. He has weapons. I mean, if you think about it, Harley Quinn should have. Does she have like her own like Joker aesthetic like gear, like exploding like presents or something like that, or exploding like chattering teeth? She didn't have any of that. It's just like they just gave her the bat and the gun, and that's it.
Well, not
That's
even just that. What about that? Okay, is Joker supposed to be a playable character?
Yes, he's gonna be the first
Yeah, DC.
DLC. He's gonna be the
Yeah,
first DLC.
He's never been on the Suicide Squad though.
No, he is not.
he's
So
a
that
yeah
that
he's
in
a
and of itself, it's like he's somebody you would go against with the Suicide Squad. He
yeah.
wouldn't be a participating member of the Suicide Squad. Fallen said it's probably gonna get canceled in about a year. That's what he said in the chat. So who knows?
A-
He's not wrong,
And you need an internet
but
connection to play the main story, which is what?
yeah,
I'm
What?
just,
but here's the
I'm just saying.
but GQ. Here's the thing. The story in this one is that the Joker is a alternate version. Because like technically, this is the Arkham series, so this Arkham's Joker is dead.
Okay.
So they're pulling a Joker from the multiverse who is on the Suicide
Excuse me.
Squad
So
from
technically, the Arkham versus
yeah.
Batman is dead too, but he's still around.
Mhm.
Like what?
Well, he of course we all know he's Bruce Wayne. He
Yeah,
didn't die in that
watching the end of
in Arkham
watching
Knight.
the end of Arkham Knight, Wayne Manor may have blown up and burned to the ground, but that doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily mean Bruce killed himself. More likely he didn't.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to I'm still trying to figure out how he got out of the spoilers for a very old movie, but
Please,
how he
please.
got out of Dark Knight Rises. He over there flying in the Batwing. We seeing shots of him flying in the
And
Batwing. Nuclear explosion, and then here he is chilling in
they
like wherever the heck
Yeah,
Office is or meet him at or whatever.
yeah. Him and Selena
bro,
sitting at the table. Like,
I'm like,
Well, that
I
was
would
they
Christopher
ain't no
Nolan,
way.
go ahead.
and that Batman was Inception. Batman. He's in a dream.
It was so that was a dream in a dream then, huh?
Yeah, it was a dream and a dream and a dream. Inception. Inception.
Yeah, because again, I understand the autopilot. He fixed the autopilot, whatever. But you kept showing shots of him in the cockpit. It's like
Mhm.
even if
Any minute
even if he
now.
jumped out, it's a nuclear explosion.
Any minute now.
Batman ain't Aquaman now. He ain't swimming that fast.
Nope.
So whatever.
exactly.
Excuse me.
But no, that was an interesting thing. I mean, I enjoyed the concept of the game when they first announced it, but now that I've seen the execution of it, it's just like, nah, y'all didn't think this through. And then plus they had that bug for the early release that I guess it just basically lets you beat the game with like as soon as you booted it up or something crazy. It was some type of thing that they announced where there was a bug where
But
it basically just showed you the ending.
Yes, it would.
or
Yeah,
something
it
like
is.
that.
It essentially completed story mode when you
Mhm.
booted it up. So that's what was
It's like
happening
Home
to
Alone.
early access people. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Like Home
Brando?
Alone. There's a Home Alone game, legit Home Alone game for the NES. I believe I don't remember the requirements, but like as soon as you start the game up, if you do something, you can just go straight to the ending.
That's funny,
That's funny.
man.
If I remember correct.
I mean,
That's funny.
game bugs have always been a thing, and have always been, something that they've had to contend with. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, it just is
Obviously,
what it is.
new stuff in gaming. You can see I'm wearing the exclusive Culture Junkies Tekken shirt. Tekken 8 dropped earlier last week actually,
Excuse me.
and that's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it. I don't know how many people out there are fighting
Mhm.
game fans, but Tekken is the third in the trinity of major fighting games um, that are out there. So it's
Yep.
finally all
Yeah, the
three of
big
them
three.
out.
The big
Yep,
three of fighting games.
yep,
So
Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat.
yep.
so tell me this. So Mortal Kombat supposedly had a steep drop off. Um,
Very
and basically
is an understatement.
was exacerbated by the release of Tekken last week. Why did Mortal Kombat drop off so hard?
Um, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people. Some people didn't jive with the story, with Liu Kang being, the new protector of Earthrealm
Hmm.
and kind of rebooting the entire universe, which I thought was actually fine. It's
Yeah,
just like, look, we've,
I didn't mind it.
Mortal Kombat 9 perfected the story of the first three. It like
Hmm.
the story mode in Mortal Kombat 9 is still the best story mode of any fighting game ever, in my opinion.
Mm.
But the new one is actually pretty cool. It's just the problem is, it's like unless you are accepting of the fact that like, okay, this is going to be different than what you know. Some people couldn't accept that. Then they ran into the problem of the fatality, the seasonal fatality thing that they came up with that was $10. Then some of the costumes were $10. It was just like they ran into every possible thing that you should never do with a game that's, not so much game as a service, because that's not what fighting games are completely. I mean, they're partially that, but they ran into a situation of just like, okay, you're making all the big missteps that people make when it comes to fighting games. You're nickel and diamond people. You're not putting a lot of unlockable stuff in there that they can just play the game and unlock. You're making it so fatalities are locked behind experience levels, and brutalities are locked behind experience levels, and the grind for experience levels. Now, here's the funny thing. They've had 3 seasons, as they call them, of invasions or whatever, which is the little single player game that you go through and rank up your characters and whatnot. In
Hmm.
season two, and I think season one, there were these things called talismans that you use that basically let you aid you during fights or whatever. On Game Facts, a lot of people were back and forth trading, best talisman to make so you can just easily just run through these towers and get a bunch of experience points. That's what everybody was doing last season two. That's like I said, I told y'all, I leveled up basically everybody in the game in like 2 days doing this because that was the only way to really
Mm.
do it, other than grinding hundreds of hours playing, getting little or nothing. So a lot of people did that, leveled up their characters, leveled up their cameo fighters and all that. And then once season three hit, they rolled all of that back as far as like being able to build great talismans that actually do stuff. It's just like, y'all let take it's like, so what if people were doing this? Let people do what they want to do. If they want to level up the game that fast, let them level it up. Now they've turned it into each fight might get you like 30 experience points. And you need well over 1,000 per level to level up. It's like, get out of here, dude. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to grind like that. It's not fun.
let's
It's
say
like time consuming, and then it's like you'll be literally just trying to do what maybe spend hours upon hours trying to level every character
Yes.
up. No, it's like I wouldn't want to do that either. I mean, back in the day, remember back in the day where we had to
Mm.
unlock the characters? That'd be a different story. If there was a character that you had to
Okay.
unlock, going through all that, going through all that. But now you could just buy them. Just like, what's the point?
But not
let's
but here's the crazy thing though. Like it's a situation where it's like, yeah, back then we enjoyed unlocking stuff because all that the unlock only thing it required was play through the arcade mode, and you unlock somebody new now. And
Mm-hmm.
you just kept doing that until you unlocked every character. 13 characters for whatever it was, dead or alive. Keep playing through the game, you unlock new costumes for your characters. That's all you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind that because they were, I wouldn't even mind that now, but they've turned it into a complete slogfest and grindfest, and it's just not even fun. I wouldn't have enjoyed Mortal Kombat 1, as great as it looks, I would not have enjoyed playing it even back then because of just how grindy the game is. So, those are issues I have.
what's up to Waffles over on Twitter checking in. I mean on YouTube, excuse me. And Hand of Omega is over on YouTube as well. And Preem is checking in over on our Kick channel, which is finally streaming. I apologize for the confusion. I guess I had the setup wrong, so I got it fixed up, and We are now streaming on Kick as well. If you
Oh,
like
so
watching on YouTube,
you handicapped kick, huh?
not on purpose, but
Kick in the
so
kneecap.
we're streaming everywhere now. 4 different platforms, all the Culture Junkies you could want. So let's pivot a little bit. Let's also talk about Echo. Echo is the latest Marvel Studios show, and it was received, I think, pretty well for the most part. I enjoyed the show. Some people um, were complaining about there wasn't enough Daredevil, but I'm like, wait a minute, the show is
It's
called
the Daredevil show.
it's
Uh,
called
yeah, it's called
Echo.
Echo.
It's not called Daredevil and Echo. He's
I guess they wanted her.
Go ahead.
I guess they wanted Daredevil to like train her or something like that, like in the comic books. But it was like you said, it's called Echoes.
Yeah, it's called Echo. Um, I thought Alaqua Cox, for being someone who this was really her first acting gig at all, I thought she did a really good job.
Hmm.
But I
Same.
mean, it goes without saying, Vincent D'Onofrio is a fucking dog actor. He was
Mm-hmm.
so good. So good. People were bothered. They were saying he was way too emotional about Maya. Do you guys feel the same way about that? The way he was
Absolutely.
acting in the show?
No, no.
Again, people are
I
just
thought. I
ridiculous. Like
mean,
he's not supposed to have any emotions towards somebody he thought of as a daughter,
Hmm.
raised as like his daughter. He's not supposed
yeah,
to. He's not supposed to. Like, come on now. The reason why Kingpin's
yeah.
apparently how he is because of his wife that he loves dearly.
Yeah,
He loves so much. That's why he acts the way he does.
exactly.
I
So
think what you go ahead, Simon.
No, I'm just gonna say
Oh,
no. Go ahead.
I
You
think
go
what
ahead.
you run into when it comes to Kingpin is people are so used to seeing him from the video game, seeing him from Spider Verse, and you only see that little bit of his personality. Obviously a lot of people did watch Daredevil and saw him in Daredevil, and they want that right away. It's like, hold
Yeah,
on, there's
yeah,
more nuance to the character beyond just. And Fallen's bringing it up right there. Like he gets irrational about Vanessa, who is his wife. So it's just like Kingpin, as mastermindy as he can be, he still has his emotional triggers basically.
yeah,
And Maya being what she was to him in the sense of a protege, and the way they were, kind of alluding to like potentially who he was grooming to be his replacement once he was time to hang, he was ready to hang it up. It's like, yeah, he's going to be a little bit, off kilter when it comes to her, and not as sharp, and basically it's like she sits in his blind spot basically. Because name me
Hmm.
anybody else that would have got close enough to him, pulled a gun on him, and been able to shoot him. That, you know what I'm saying, as far
Yeah.
as just being somebody he would have let get that close. No, outside of his wife, probably not. Probably nobody. There's nobody else that would have been able to get close to him like that. You know, and have him basically let his guard down. More or less. So I didn't have a problem with that. I mean, it's like, people unfortunately are really tied into the comic book adaptation and the comic book,
Right.
version of stuff. And it's just like, you gotta, you can use that for inspiration, but you're selling this to a general audience, and general audiences want a little bit more nuance in most instances.
that's true.
Sorry if if y'all can't understand that and can't get with that, but that's just reality. If you want something to be, successful beyond the niche audience that may support it, it's like you got to broaden it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
So
forget about
go ahead,
that when Ben Ernst trying to like get more information, and he went to his
bro,
mom, and he went. Oh man, I was like,
bro.
dang. When he went after it, when they
Yo,
looking for it, went after his mom like that, I was like,
yeah, like
oh,
there
that's
was
the
there
wrong
was
thing
so
to do.
many things in that Daredevil show where Kingpin, you could tell this dude was not only emotionally unhinged, but he was just someone you just didn't want to mess with. Whether it be him
Mhm.
basically decapitating the dude with a car door, whether it was
Yeah.
what he did to the Russian brother, what he did to Ben Urich, uh, what he did to his dad with the damn ball peen pen. Like, come on, like, and no spoilers, but there's callbacks to Daredevil in
Hmm.
Mhm.
Echo that you definitely should pay attention to. Speaking of
Yep.
that, going off of that, um, it's great that spinning out of Echo. We also knew that Daredevil Born Again kind of has gone through what retooling, I guess we could say. And because
Hmm.
of that, not only before we weren't going to get Karen and Foggy, but now they have gone ahead and not only given us Karen and Foggy, Karen Page and Eldon Henson. I mean, Karen Page, played by
Hmm.
Deborah Ann Wall, and Eldon Henson, who plays Foggy Nelson, but they're also legitimizing the Netflix Daredevil show and saying that it's canon. Now, does that extend also to Luke Cage and Iron Fist? Well, and Jessica Jones? Well, that kind of remains to be seen. If we have our druthers, we can leave Iron Fist aside, like leave that over there. Like, I would love to
Hmm.
take Colleen Wing.
Way
Like, I
over
would love
there
to
in the
take
corner.
Colleen Wing.
Did you not hear that rumor that they're
What's the
gonna reset Iron Fist with a female lead? I don't know if
well?
it's true or not, but I saw it flipping through the Facebooks.
Sure. I've heard that, and here's how they can do that, right? So the whole thing with Iron Fist is it's a legacy title. It's passed down through the
Hmm.
generations. They could start. There have
Yep.
been female Iron Fists in the past. They could start with a period piece explaining what the Iron Fist was. In fact, I think the first Iron Fist in Marvel
Was a
chronology was
female.
a female back in the Stone
Yep.
Age. So that they could do that story, or they could do a later story, the Chinese pirate Iron Fist, who was also a female. She was pretty badass. There's a lot of ways they can do this, right? So I wouldn't get people up in arms about there being a female Iron Fist or any of this other kind of stuff, but I'm just excited that the Netflix shows are finally being determined to be canon. We all kind of expected them to be.
They're gonna call Iron
Well, I
Fist
want to
Wolf
see
and
how
just
they
got
fit
the
all
same
that
name.
stuff in there, man, because it feels like a lot of stuff is like when they brought Kingpin back for Hawkeye. He just seemed at that in that moment a different character Kingpin. Like he was a different universe. Like he didn't feel like he was. I mean, maybe he's the same Kingpin, but like, what is the time frame going to be? Is it going to be like, oh, this is well before the snap, just after the Battle of New York, and like
Well,
so much has passed?
well,
Like,
even in I think even in the Netflix shows, when they were airing, they kind of were positioning them in the timeline, right? Like Daredevil season one took place after Avengers.
yeah,
I think Daredevil season two took place shortly after that, but before Age of Ultron. Luke Cage and Iron Fist were kind of all also in the same uh, arena or area. Um, So how does that play into Thanos and the snap? We don't know. They'll have to clear up that whole timeline. Um, but we'll have to see. Now, um, Hawk
Hawk
from
from
Hawk
Cobra
from Cobra
Kai.
Kai is Iron Fist. Nah, man.
Mm.
Nah, man. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I like my man Hawk, but nah, I don't know about that one.
I want Cobra Kai to hurry up and come back.
Me too. Me too. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how they wrap this up. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't know. Uh, Hand of Omega says, how many years past the snap are we by now? Like, that's a good question too. Honestly, that's a
Um,
real good question.
hmm.
Isn't it supposed to be like 2025 or something like that in their world?
Something,
Or
something like that.
probably why we're not getting no movies till 2025 because they're trying to make it our time, their time the same.
I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3 though. I
Oh, of
that's
course.
Yes,
that's
very
gonna
much
be
so.
so much
Can they not
fun.
get here
Very
Yeah.
fast
much
enough?
so.
That is
We
gonna be
should
so
Yes,
much
very
start
fun.
much
right
so.
now a junkie movie. What you call it? Make sure that everybody who's in the area, and if you're not in the area, bring your ass here so we all go see Deadpool together.
Yay. So
Absolutely.
this year being 2024, um, and with what's going on with Disney and kind of like how they're restructuring or refocusing, repurposing the MCU, I think we're only getting
Hmm.
Deadpool 3 this year,
Yep,
right?
that's
I
it.
think I think that's
Yeah.
literally the only Marvel movie we're getting. Do you
Yep.
guys think that's good or a bad thing?
Hopefully,
I
give them
think it's
some
all right
time.
because, like they
Go
said,
ahead,
that
Simon.
yeah, because like they need to definitely like retool and reboot, maybe just like get fans back into the, let's just say get butts in the seats, because as of lately, they've had a couple of duds. Um, in what the last year,
Okay,
um,
let's talk about that. The duds, right? Are they really duds, or are they just people's expectations getting in the way?
I
Let's
think
think.
it's expectations
Okay, so
because like you
let's
said,
talk about the Marvels, right? So the Marvels was very poorly received, I think, by a lot of people. It wasn't marketed particularly well. You can make the argument that people are tired of having prerequisite shows to watch in order to get a full understanding or breadth of the experience. However, a lot of people that said they didn't watch Miss Marvel or WandaVision really enjoyed the characters as they were. They in fact they liked the Marvels better than they liked Captain Marvel. What do you guys think of that?
I like both movies, and I like them for different reasons. Because one was an origin movie, and the other one is a, what you not a continuation, but just like already established, because they already established all the other characters in other shows. Now, for those people who chose not to watch those shows, I can understand why they may have those problems. But I personally have enjoyed and was entertained by every single thing I've seen as Marvel. There are some stuff that I like more than others, but I haven't seen. To me, I wouldn't say I've seen anything like that's bad, because my scale of bad outweighs most people who are movie watchers. So you have to do some really fucked up shit for me to say something is bad.
Now, and for me, right, if I don't know something about a character, like if I experience something for the first time and I see that there's more media with them in it, I would actually go out and seek that media and watch it. What's wrong with the media literacy, not just in this country, but in this world, where it's like everything has to be, you know, spoon fed to them.
You already said it. You talked
I
about that
think
already.
I know, but I'm
I think
still. I
it's
just go ahead, Simon.
no, I think it's just that everybody's expectations since Infinity War, so everybody was the bar was already set high, and everybody was expecting like Phase Four to be even better than the last at the, what happened at the end. So that's my take of it. That's what everybody was like. Oh yeah, Endgame was the best, and like we expected,
Everything has to be that,
you
right?
know. Yeah, that's what they were expecting. Everything has to be like, oh yeah, everything has to be like Endgame. Endgame was the jumping off point. Now we're going into like the multiverse, so everything has to be on that level. And I think that everyone's expectations were a little bit out. I mean, it's unreasonable. I mean, like not every movie is going to be Endgame. That's what I got from how this, how people are perceived the latest movies.
Yeah.
For me, what sold the Marvels was more Kamala Khan. Iman Vellani
Mhm.
is a godsend to the MCU. She is so good. I love her. She is great. I thought Tiana Paris was fantastic as well, and of course, obviously, the post credit scene, showing Maria Rambeau as binary, as basically her universe's Captain Marvel or version of Captain Marvel, was fantastic. So, I I think people just need to get over themselves a lot by a lot, and thinking everything needs to be catered to them and all this other kind of stuff. It's that
It'd be nice.
yeah,
It'd
it
be
would
nice
be.
if we can go back to how movies were, where I feel like if you watched the movie, I mean, maybe it hasn't always been like that, because like the internet may not have always been around. There's always been movie reviews, but not everybody is a armchair movie reviewer nowadays. Where back in the day, Leonard Maltin, what's his name, the two thumbs up, Siskel and Ebert.
Siskel and Ebert, yeah,
Yeah, and you had people in the newspaper, but you didn't have
or
like,
Siskel and Roper by the end.
well, after
Yeah.
Cisco, or is it Ebert and Roper? Cisco had passed
Oh,
away,
you're right. Yeah, it was Ebert and Roper.
Yeah.
Right.
but what have you? It's just like now everybody is a critic. Is not hard to get a camera, put yourself on YouTube, and if you find an audience, then people are gonna start to like what you like. Most people who are an audience, they're not there because they disagree with you. They're there because they agree with you and they like you. So you can say whatever, and they're like, "Oh yeah," either they agree with you just because they like you, or they agree with you because they agree have the same, wavelength. It's just it can never be to the point where somebody says, "I like this because of this, and this." Most people just say it's trash, and then that's the blanketed statement. And that's just how things are now. I mean, there some of them are not able to, express why they like and what they don't like. It just we are in that realm now where everybody has a voice on the same level as everybody else, and it seems to be more people who are just they don't like anything. So I don't understand
Yeah.
why they do what they do.
Yeah,
So
they
I
don't
don't
they
know.
don't like anything. You're right. John P is over on YouTube saying good to see everyone. Scarlet Witch versus Thanos is what everyone thought Miss Marvel was going to do, which is ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. You're not going to get that level of fight right out the gate with a
Yeah.
character that's just being introduced. Like, what? Come on. That's
Hmm.
stupid.
Well, I think the other thing you're running into, and all of you guys have touched on it, is the negative grift has become the new way to make money on YouTube, and that's
Yes.
become the unfortunate catalyst for a lot of people making channels, a lot of people, and then
Hmm.
it's easy to dunk on Disney right now. It's easy to dunk on Aquaman. It's like we all knew the
Oh,
Aquaman movie wasn't going to do all that great
yeah.
because it was already announced that this movie it doesn't attach to anything. It's the
It's
last
the
part
end.
of the Snyderverse or whatever.
Yeah.
And even
Hmm.
with that, but here's the crazy thing: even with that caveat, the movie still performed well at the box office. It
Four
still
hundred
made
million
yeah,
dollars.
it still made money.
Hmm.
So it's
I
like
didn't expect that.
yeah, so that's what people have to understand. It's just like, yeah, y'all might have an audience that agrees with you and you got your echo chamber and whatever, but it's like the rest of the world doesn't really care that much. They're not living and dying with, whether or not the Marvels performed well or not. Some people is
Mhm.
like that's their whole identity. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah, I told y'all the Marvels wasn't gonna do well. It's like, do you really get anything off of this? Or like, instead of shills, are y'all paid nils? Like what's
The
Instead of
views,
shills, are you paid deals? I love that.
they get the views, they get paid off the views. So if you say
yeah.
shit and people agree with you, they get the views, they get the money.
Honestly,
First you get the views, then you get the money, then you get the women.
guys,
Yeah.
I think we have missed our calling. We should pivot Culture Junkies as a brand to being a completely negative clickbait hater
Let's shit
brand.
on everything.
Let's shit on everything.
Wow.
Um, let's literally shit on everything, whether it be a game, whether it be an anime, whether it be a comic book, whether it be movies, TV shows. We should just hate, 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 hate,
Hate,
hate,
hate,
hate,
hate, hate,
Culture,
hate.
hate,
culture
hate, hate,
junkies
hate,
versus
hate, hate.
everybody.
Yes, culture junkies versus everyone. Hate, 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 hate.
Wow.
Just hate.
Yeah. I don't know. I ain't got enough energy for all that.
I
That's
Yeah,
don't
me neither.
either. And we don't want to be those guys because again, everybody else is doing that, right? We
mhm.
should be the sane people in the room. That's our brand. That's who we are. We're fans. We love this stuff. We may not love everything, but we want to bring you the positive perspective of stuff that's out there because we've got way too much negativity in the world out here right now. And I love that you touched on Aquaman and it doing positive. Because remember, the whole thing was, oh well, Amber Heard is in this movie. It's gonna bomb. It's gonna be bad. You know
Hmm.
what else? She didn't factor into this movie much at all, and she did
No, she
fine.
didn't.
No,
And she did fine in
she
the movie. She did fine.
she had minor roles. She didn't have
Yeah,
like a big role. It wasn't.
exactly.
I
The story
mean,
wasn't about her and Arthur.
well, her.
Like they did that story
No.
already. That was what Aquaman was about. The story now
Exactly.
was about the brothers,
Yeah.
Aquaman,
Hmm.
Arthur, and Orm, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, the movie itself was fun. Again, I didn't go in there with any expectations like, oh my, it's about to knock my socks off. It's like, no, the movie is just a movie. It's sometimes you just go into a movie
Yeah,
and be entertained. That's all that really matters. Ain't about no agenda, ain't about no woke and all this other BS. It's just the
yeah,
movie is a movie.
yeah,
Period. Just go go
100%.
go sit there, ingest what you see, and then you're done.
Okay, no, it's good.
That's how I look at it.
All right, guys. So we got like 10 minutes left in the show. Um, before we sign off. It's been great, coming back. But let's maybe set the table a little bit for the upcoming year. What we're looking forward to. Obviously, in February, the next thing that's getting ready to come out games wise is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm
Mhm.
super looking forward to that. I still got to finish remake. I haven't finished remake yet. I still need to
Man,
finish.
hold on. How
What
did
do
how
you?
did
Yeah,
we?
I
How,
know, I know,
Yeah.
I know, I
What?
know, I know, I know,
I haven't
I
even
know.
played it.
well, that's
See,
because you
at
didn't
least
buy it.
Well,
yeah,
we
we know
know
you.
you have.
We
We're
we
not
we
gonna.
expected that from
Yeah.
you, but we're
That's because
talking about me, someone
that's
that
because you
bought it on
I
day
know.
one.
that's because you waiting on the triple pack with all 3 parts or whatever. However many
Right.
parts.
He gonna be
Oh,
waiting till
he said
2040 for
no.
that
He
one.
said that when they first announced it. He's
He
like, I
did.
don't feel like buying it 3 different times. He's like, I just want to make one purchase and get all the parts so I can just sit down and play the whole thing.
Hmm
He said that from day
He
one.
did. He said that from the get. He did say that.
As soon as I found out it was gonna be a part 2, I was like, "This bullshit." I got Final Fantasy VII sitting over there. I want to play through that story. Pop it in there and I'm gonna play. I'm gonna
Hey,
get
check
through
it
the
out.
whole entire game. I'm
Check
like,
it out.
oh, I gotta
Dido's
wait some years.
Dido's gonna play it on the PS6 when it's a remake of a remake. That's when he's going to play it.
Possibly.
That's if I'm buying a PS6. I might just turn into a PC gamer, man. But
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Oh, okay.
what?
Now he's
it's
now he's
just,
Whoa.
oh my goodness. Oh
but it's just
wow.
having all in one. But my whole thing is,
Okay.
it's hard to say that because I love my physical copies.
100%. Oh
Yeah.
man, we
But if they
we
get rid of physical copies,
we
which
gotta
that they're gonna probably end up doing,
yeah.
ain't got no.
We definitely need to have a bigger discussion on physical versus digital because the shit is getting really crazy
Yeah.
lately. GQ is there
It's
what's
getting hard.
yeah.
It's getting
What's
hard out in these streets.
yeah, 100%. GQ, what you looking forward to the most this year coming up now it's 2024.
Um, obviously Deadpool. That's gonna be fun.
Mhm.
I, it's coming up right away. Actually, within a couple of weeks. Actually, I think
Mhm.
13 days from tomorrow.
Mhm.
Which is Valentine's Day. I'm getting that Tomb Raider remake or remaster collection.
Oh yeah.
It looks like that'll be
This
fun.
is the original
Yeah,
PS1
original 3.
games?
Yeah, 1 through
Wow.
3.
Which I find is strange because they did that already. And just my honest opinion off the
Mhm,
videos, the
mhm.
one that came out for the PlayStation 3 / Xbox 360 remake of Tomb Raider 1 looks and plays better than this remake, in my honest opinion. It looks like they
Yeah.
put a fresh painted coat with the same gameplay from the PlayStation ones.
It's possible because as far as I understand, Tomb Raider Anniversary was just a remake of the first one only. This is a
Yeah,
remake
just
of
the first one,
yeah, this
but
is a remake of one,
it
two,
had
and
just
three.
better mechanics, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this one is a remake of 1, 2, and 3.
And I probably get it when it's $20.
Well, it's 29.
Mm.
It's
Oh, it's gonna be
digital.
29.
Yeah, it's digital only. Is at the
Oh,
moment. Limited Run will probably do a thing on it.
He caught him with the digital.
So you'll
ah,
catch it. You'll
ah.
potentially catch a physical version of it through limited run or something like that. Um, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to us coming back in full force with the studio setup, but that's down the line.
Yes.
And
The set is going to be so good. You
yeah,
guys,
yeah,
I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's going to be so good.
yep.
So good.
So all of our patrons have seen it though. So y'all
They
make sure y'all
have.
jump on that Patreon, Culture Junkies Patreon, which is patreon.com/Culture Junkies. Become a supporter of the show, and you can get little tidbits like that and stuff that other
Dido,
people can't get.
what are you looking forward to the most this year coming up?
Getting back into the groove that I used to be in, playing more games, watching more movies, and actually trying to be creative. That's probably going to happen because big life changes is happening for me, unfortunately, and I just want to be that guy that I kind of was. I mean, older, but kind of back how it was when I was in my early 20s, where I didn't let
Stuff.
so much stuff hold me down and hamper me. I mean, I guess I'm already jaded, and I wish the government would pay me to stay in my house, like, because I would remove myself from society in that aspect. I'll stay here.
Oh my
I'll do my
goodness.
thing. I'll just have them deliver food to me, whatever. You can pay me to stay. I mean, maybe I should start not a Kickstarter. What's that other one that they do for people donate money? You guys want me to stay in
GoFundMe.
my house,
Kick.
donate my money, see if I
GoFundMe.
can stay in this basement for a whole entire year without leaving.
So
Well, maybe
GoFundMe.
not the basement, the whole house, because I
GoFundMe
got
for
to go
Dido.
upstairs to get food and use
GoFundMe
the
for
bathroom.
GoFundMe
Dido
for
indeed.
Dido's home vacation.
Staycation fund. His staycation
Yeah,
fund.
if we can get like 500,000, and I'd stay here.
What about you, Simon? What you looking forward to most this year? I know, I
Um,
know. Dragon Ball
what?
Budokai Tenkaichi Sparking when that gets ready to come out. The trailer for that just dropped. I know you look forward to that.
Of course, but no, that one, but I'm also looking forward to the First Descent. That should be coming out
First,
sometime this
first.
month. It's a free to play third person shooter. It's sort of like Division meets the
Hmm.
Destiny. It's kind of dope. I played the demo of it. Uh, Also, I want to get Dogma 2.
Dragon's
That looks
Dogma
nice.
2. Okay,
I was looking at that.
okay. No, that
That's coming out in
looks fun.
March 22nd. And yeah, if anybody else gets it, I'm on Xbox. We can team up, kill some dragons and all that stuff, man. Uh, but yeah, Deadpool 3, yeah, is definitely on top of my list. I want to check that out. See if that'll kickstart the Marvel MCU over again, or maybe transition it to something even better, which would be cool.
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
Speaking of Xbox, that Indiana Jones game actually makes me partially want to get an Xbox Series X.
So, a first person, a first person Indiana Jones game. I don't know, man. Where the whole thing is, Indy doesn't really. I mean, he doesn't use guns like that. He mostly uses his whip and his fist, but it just feels like
Mhm.
it's going to be very gun heavy. You know what I mean?
And hey, don't act like Indy don't use guns.
No,
Indy
he
uses guns
does.
when he
No,
needs
he
to.
Yeah,
does 100%. But it seems like that it's going to be less about puzzle solving and adventure and archaeology searching and more about shooting a bunch of Nazis. That's all. That's just what
I
it is.
mean, if you look at any of his movies, it's kind of like half and half.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's half and half fighting. You got him fighting, shooting, and whipping motherfuckers,
Okay.
and then like everything.
Fighting,
What
shooting, and
do
whipping motherfuckers.
go to
I
Temple
love
Doom?
that.
Go to Temple Doom. People Doom.
I love
First
that.
20 minutes was a shootout.
Yep. It was a riff on James Bond.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, he's running away from people shooting freaking arrows and shit at him. So like, I mean,
Hey.
he didn't
Uh,
have time to turn around and shoot.
so can they somehow, for some of the escaping from the traps, can they make it somehow put in a little bit of Mirror's Edge in that boy? Somehow, some way?
that'd be
Is this
cool.
gonna be first
Yeah,
person?
that'd be.
Maybe. I mean, but
You know?
here's the thing, and then also back to the Raiders of the Lost Ark thing. Belloc took his gun. That's why he didn't have his gun to shoot back
True. That's
in,
true.
in that first sequence. But yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see. Like Indiana Jones has had a lot of games over the years, a lot. And to me, the best one had up to this point has always been the Temple of Doom arcade game. I didn't care about any of the other ones that came out. They had a whole bunch of different ones, little random names and other stuff. They just weren't good. The arcade game was the only one that captured the essence of being Indiana Jones to me.
Yeah.
Now this one seems to be, again, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, the only thing they've really shown mainly are trailers and the cinematics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll have to see what happens when it comes out. That might be the only thing that makes me get an Xbox.
Oh, before we go, you had mentioned getting that Prince of Persia game. Did you end up getting it? Did you buy it?
Yeah, I got it.
Get it? What you think?
I haven't played it yet. I just loaded it
Oh,
onto
okay.
the system.
Okay.
Whip
You know
them
how that
Yeah,
neck.
'cause
goes.
everybody was bitching about that. Even Waffle said he was
Ah,
the outcry with the side scroller. It's like, dude, the game was
that's good.
platformer. I was like, come on,
I
man.
want to get that game too, but I want to know which system I should want to get it for because man, my the Switch has been getting so much love, and
Mhm.
it's not even like the strongest. It just has like a lot of shit that I want to play, and almost all the games that came out for the Switch came out for the PlayStation 5, 4, and Xbox, whatever. But it's just like,
Right.
oh, I want to get on the Switch, but I wonder if Prince of Persia would be better. Excuse me, I haven't looked at any reviews or nothing.
Well, you play games on the go a lot, though. So I mean, for
Not
you,
really. I
I mean,
used to.
I understand it, but what I'm saying is like the Switch for you is something that when a game comes out and it's available on the Switch, usually you will get it for the Switch because of the fact that okay, might be playing this, while I'm out or whatever on the go. I'm not saying you always do that, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying just yeah, based on you know, anytime we'd be hanging out, whatever, you did have your Switch with you every now and again. So it's just like, well, he might play a little bit of Prince of Persia. And King Takeem might get the last chat in. He said, "When Nazis come around, you must whip it."
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the song.
When the Nazis come
Come
around,
around.
you must whip
Whip
it.
it.
Yeah.
Only 80s babies would get that reference. So anyway, Waffle says I just got mine today. It's 120. It's 120 FPS on PS5, Xbox Series X, 60 on
Can you
Switch. Well
really
optimized game
see the
all around.
difference?
So
What for
That's
Prince
my
of Persia?
biggest thing.
yeah, the Prince of Persia. Yeah, Prince of Persia.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
Like I
with
said,
that, I could just put it on my 38, my 30, was it a 3060, 3070 Ti? I don't remember which one.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not the cream of the crop no more, but
cream of the crop.
Cream of the
yeah.
crop. Cream. Rise to the top. Just like we did coming back to doing our show. That's going to wrap it up for us over here at Culture Junkies Live. It's our first show back. We're looking forward to coming back every week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Now there's going to be more of us spread around. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Kick. So wherever you like to be, like if you want to put us up on YouTube and throw us up on the TV, you can do that and then chat with us in the chat there, or you can just watch us on Twitch like you've always been doing. We'll be here, and we'll come back. We've got a lot of great stuff. Looking forward to sharing with you guys this year. Probably a few guests. We'll be doing some more live action appearances as well. Make sure you follow us, and we'll let you know what's going on when we make our appearances. So, my friends. It was great chatting with you guys today. We will be back next week, like I said, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. For my friends, the Great Adakuji, GQ, and Simon Says, I'm Kenshiro. See you guys next week. Have a good one.
Peace.
Everybody
Dude.
take it easy.